Hey everyone, I'm Ultimate456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to another channel update video. It's been quite some time since I uploaded one. I think it's been 4 months since I've uploaded an update video. And to be honest, I know I say this at the beginning of every update video, I don't think this one's going to be very long. The reason is there's just not really much to say, just things are going as per normal. So I'll just go, have sort of a few things written down to talk about. Basically, my personal life is great, my job is great, and everything is going well. Working with a very good bunch of people, probably the best people I've ever worked with. Their work ethic is insane. It's like, I have my own standard, and they're all measuring up just fine, and it's great. It's so fantastic to be able to work in a job where other people view the job in the same way you do. I get up for work feeling refreshed, ready to go. I'm like not concerned about anything that's going to go wrong, because I know so many different aspects of the role now that if something unexpected comes up, I'm able to just focus on that one thing, deal with it, understand it, explain it to everyone else, and try and make sure that everyone knows what they're doing. And it's great. It's really awesome. It's the best thing to have. So I'm very, very happy about that. And I think it's just making doing YouTube so much easier. Speaking of that, obviously the Danganronpa 2 is the current game that I'm doing. It's going well. I don't see any like roadblocks or anything happening in the future. It's just going to be daily uploads until we get it done. It's still going to be a while before we finish it. I believe I'm about to I'm recording this on a Saturday, early, like 1:50 in the afternoon on a Saturday. And so later today, I'll probably be recording the end of chapter 3. There are 6 chapters altogether. Then there's a fair bit of post game. So yeah, it's still going to be going for quite a while. I would venture somewhere around mid-July, in all honesty, is when I'm thinking like it might finish, but it could go even longer than that. Having said that though, I wanted to actually talk a little bit about what I've been doing while Danganronpa 2 has been going on, and also what I plan to do coming up. So the first thing is that when I record a Danganronpa game, and as of right now there are 4, although I did hear news that a potential like new one could eventually come out, which would be really cool. So the 4 are Danganronpa 1, which I've already done. Danganronpa 2 I'm doing now. There's a spin-off game that takes place sort of between 1, 2 and a little bit after, and like it takes place around that time. And it's quite different to what Danganronpa 1 and 2 are, and I'll be doing that one eventually as well. And then there's Danganronpa V3, which is the third game installment. And I'll be doing that one at some point eventually as well. But the great thing about Danganronpa is it's one of the few games that actually affords me time to do other things, like play games for myself. And I took an opportunity to do that. After a few weeks of planning Danganronpa 2, I was like, all right, I'm going to start, like I'll save recording for the weekend, and I will play things for myself during the week, like after work. And so for about 6 weeks, I played Kingdom Hearts 3, which I had played and finished before, but I hadn't actually got like everything done. I hadn't completed it, hadn't got the platinum. I had barely got any chests in the game. I was just kind of going boss, just get through the game. And yeah, like I was like, I got to go back to it. I got to get the platinum and everything. And that's what I did. And it was really fun. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I still think probably Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best game in the series, but Kingdom Hearts 3, it's very flashy. It's very pretty. It's crazy to look at. Like, it's honestly insane to look at that game. It's so pretty, like all the way through. It's just amazing, so colorful, so bright, and yeah, it was really top notch. But the reason I bring it up is because I wanted to talk about the DLC. So the platinum took me about 3 to 4 weeks or something like that to get, and then I purchased the DLC so that I could experience the DLC content, because I had heard a lot of good things about the DLC content. I'm not going to spoil anything, but basically there are a lot of boss fights in the DLC continent, a lot of boss fights in the DLC content. There's a lot of so there's a bunch of story, a lot of boss fights, and then after you complete that first section, you unlock basically another bunch of boss fights, and then you unlock one final boss fight. And the reason I wanted to play it was because a lot of people had talked about these specific boss fights and how they were the most well-designed Kingdom Hearts content of all time. And I can not only agree with that, but I might just have to say that in all my years of gaming, the boss fights at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, the DLC, especially the last one, but even all the others that come before it, there are literally 13 of them, and then there's the secret super boss at the end. It might just be the most well-designed boss content of any game ever. The insanity with how accurate a lot of that content is, and just like how it works and how finessed it's been, it's actually hard to believe, hard for me to understand that a human or a bunch of humans created it. What I mean by that is, like, when you play the content normally, like without any restrictions, you just kind of like tank hits. Sora can take a lot of damage, and you just kind of keep attacking until the boss dies. But the way that I was playing, the way you have to play in order to get a specific trophy, is you use these things called pro codes. And pro codes apply a bunch of restrictions to your character. You can't do this, you can't do that, your health decreases over time, your MP decreases over time, all this kind of stuff, like crazy restrictions. And you don't absolutely have to put every single restriction, but in order to get the trophy, you need to do a lot. And I just wanted to do everything. So I did all the restrictions that I possibly could do throughout the entire game. And then I played the DLC. I did all the restrictions that I needed to do for each boss. And then you had to beat at least 8 of the bosses. If you did every pro code on every boss from the beginning of the game till the secret bosses at the end, you had to beat at least 8 of the 13 bosses in order to actually get enough points to complete the trophy, which was to rank up to rank A. And so I did this, right? Every single time I messed up a boss, so basically the way it works is you have a bunch of different combination attacks that the enemies do to you, and you have to figure out a way to block, dodge, and then punish, block or dodge and then punish when you see an opening, right? And you have to figure out those openings. And then you have these things called DMs, which stands for desperation moves, which are essentially moves where you can't really deal damage to the boss. You have to just kind of avoid and dodge and block for the length of the DM. And then when they come out of the DM, they go back to their combination moves. And sometimes the further you get in the fight, those combination moves change up a little bit. They become a little bit more difficult to deal with. Then you might get a second DM and you've got to do the same thing. So this is how it works. But the thing was, let's say, so one boss might have like 5 different sets of combination attacks that they can use, then a DM, then those sort of same 5 sets, and then DM2, and then if they're still alive after DM2, which was very possible, they might take those 5 combinations and like mix them up a bit and make them even harder to deal with. And then you have to, subsequently avoid and do that so that you can win. Every single time I anticipated incorrectly about a combination move, I got destroyed. Like, it was insane, but it was like insane how accurate it was. It was like I went to block and immediately I was destroyed because I should have dodged. And then, or vice versa, I went to dodge and immediately I should have blocked to avoid it. Or it was something where it was like I should have blocked, but I blocked too soon and I should have waited a split second and then blocked. And every single time, I was getting quite frustrated at it, but I was still really enjoying it. Like, I got very frustrated, but I was super enjoying it because I kept saying, like, out loud to myself, I was like, how is this so well crafted? I don't understand how anyone could have crafted this and how much time it could have taken to actually do that. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say on it, but because I've gone on about it for a while. But bravo to the dev team for that content, because it is some of the best content in boss fight content I've ever played. It's incredible, very, very much worth the money. And the final super secret boss is crazy as well, absolutely insane. But yeah, it really, really was incredible. So congratulations. All right, in regards to future content. So obviously I've explained that Danganronpa 2 is still going to be going on for a while. And I know not everyone, wants to watch that content, even though you should. It's really good. The game is actually incredible. It's my least favorite out of the 4 games, and it's still so good. So here's what I was thinking. I was going to do RE4 after Danganronpa 2. That was the plan. But recently, my channel has actually seen quite a reduction in the amount of views and subscribers that I've been getting. If I'm honest, I've been getting about like 50 to 60% of the views that I usually get for the past 2 months. Maybe even less than that, to be honest, like on certain days. Like if I compare, like I would say yesterday I got half as many views as I've ever gotten. So like, for example, the most amount of views that I ever got, yesterday I got half of that. And usually I would get like 80% of the most views I ever got, or 70% of the most views I ever got. So now it's sort of coming down to around 55, 60, 65%. Now, I'm not super fussed by that, even though I'm mentioning it. I'm not super fussed. It is like, it's a little frustrating come home and it's like, oh, all right, this is the new norm. But it's been going for a while, so it's the new norm. It is what it is. It's okay. I don't mind. I never set out to be a million subscriber channel. If I did, I would have done things to make myself a million subscriber channel. But I was thinking of doing RE8 actually instead, because it's fresh. It just came out. I should be able to get something up in like around a month's time, probably sooner than that. I don't know exactly. But I wanted to do it because I was like, this game it's brand new. It's really intriguing. I waited so long to play RE7 after it came out. Like it came out, I think I had 2 or 3 years passed before I actually got to play it, and I really enjoyed it. And so RE8, I've been playing it a little bit, and I've been enjoying it as much. I've been enjoying it, as much as I enjoyed RE7. And I was like, you know what? I should sort of put RE4 on the back burner for a little bit longer. Maybe I'll do RE8. So here's what I'm thinking. I don't know if I can actually do it, but I'm going to try. Because Danganronpa 2 is going to be going for still quite some time, and because it's also a game where I can afford myself a bit more time, instead of just playing something else for myself, which I was actually intending on playing like The Last of Us Part 2 and doing exactly what I did with Kingdom Hearts 3, which was I got through the content for Last of Us Part 2, all the story stuff, I saw the story, I understood whatever happened, but I didn't collect everything. I got very close, but I didn't collect everything. So I thought I'll go back and play it again and maybe play it on harder difficulty, do some extra trophies, whatever, try and get the platinum, collect everything. But instead of doing that, I'm going to focus on RE8, and I'm going to try and start creating the guide, because this is the first time in a really, really long time where I've actually had the opportunity to maybe finish the game, figure out everything that happens in the game, understand it to a higher degree, and then create a platinum guide from there. So I think that's probably what I should do. And so that's what I'm going to try and do. And if I can do it, then I should be able to release some episodes concurrently with Danganronpa 2. What I would do is I'd probably release it on the opposite time of whenever you guys receive the Danganronpa 2 episode. So my regular upload time, 12 hours after that. So however that works with your time zone, you'd have basically a video every 12 hours. So Danganronpa 2, RE8, Danganronpa 2, RE8, until inevitably, well, presumably Danganronpa 2 would finish first, depending on how soon I was able to get. Like if I started RE8 tomorrow, RE8 probably would finish first. I can't say that for sure, but that's my guess. So I think that would be okay to do. It is a little bit like on the pushing myself side, but I've got the time. It's not like, and I'm not like fully 100% committing to this. I'm just like, this is a very likely possibility. So it would be nice to do that. And also so that you guys don't have to wait as long to get, like another piece of content. Because I know Danganronpa 2, as I said already, doesn't get as much, but it is still good. So yeah, it's there. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. In terms of after that, it'll probably still be RE4, God of War, or Shadow of the Colossus. I'm not actually sure which one I want to choose. Part of me really wants to do RE4 because the remake, or the supposed remake, well, it's pretty much guaranteed right now that there is a remake in the works for RE4. And I'm hoping it doesn't come out until I assume it won't come out until next year late, or even 2023. So it means that I want to do RE4, the original, now or as soon as possible, so that it's there. I have enough, time goes by, and then the RE4 remake comes out, and maybe I can do it as soon as it comes out. or a little bit after that. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking along the lines of. So yeah, RE4, God of War, or Shadow of the Colossus. Those are the ones I want to do next. Just see if there's anything else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other game I wanted to mention was Returnal. Returnal came out, and I actually grabbed that as well. I haven't played it yet. It's still in its plastic packaging over here. I've been watching Maximilian Dude actually play it, and it's been a crazy, crazy game. 100% Game of the Year material. I have yet to finish RE8. I'm a little ways through. I don't want to say where I am, but let's just say I got to a point when I now understand, like, in a way, how long is left in the game, because I was actually really worried. I guess this isn't a spoiler, but like the trailer content that came out, in my mind suggested that the castle that you go to was the end of the game. And because that happens very, very quickly, I was like, wait, how short is this game? Like, is this RE3? Like, what's going on? RE3 remake? And then I did that and continued, and then something was revealed, and I was like, oh, okay, I see. All right, so no, and then that's the end. Like, maybe, I don't know. I don't even know. I'm kind of like right at the beginning of that spot. So without giving too much away, as I said. But yeah, it looks like the game is going to be longer. Like, it's going to be a decent length, which is nice. Because even RE7, I would say in some ways felt a little on the short side. It wasn't short, but it did feel a little on the short side. But yeah, RE8 looks like it's going to be a decent length, which is nice. What was I saying? I was talking about RE8, but then I forgot what my point was. Okay, I think I'll leave it there. Regardless, I know this has been a little bit, 18 minutes, whatever it's going to be. I want to thank you as always for the continued support. It's really awesome to have just like slowly building a community of people who are really invested in my content. I'm always really, really trying to do my best to make it. Having this job that I have now just affords me the ability to, even like doing the voice acting in Danganronpa 2, I feel like some of it I'm getting like really, really accurate voices, which is really cool. No one said anything about like whether it's great or terrible, so I assume it's okay at the very least, which is what I've always assumed for myself anyway. But yeah, it's really, really fun to try and get that as accurate and as good as possible, because if for whatever reason I end up watching my own content for whatever reason it may be in the future, I might sit there and go like, oh, that was pretty good. That it's always nice to kind of see that. So but regardless, I will keep going. I don't know what's to come. It's the best. Video games, I think, are just going to keep getting better, and it's such a cool and interesting time to live in. I guess the last thing I can mention is that next week is my 6th-year anniversary on YouTube, which is crazy. So yeah, I've been doing this for almost 6 years. And I think everyone's talking about E3, but I thought E3 was no longer a thing. Like, I don't know, am I confused? Probably. I guess I may as well mention, don't forget about Games Done Quick. That's going to happen in a month as well. It's sort of more an online thing at the moment if you're into speedruns. SGDQ in this case, for Summer Games Done Quick in America. It's going to be probably an online event for the next 2 or 3, and then hopefully once the pandemic we're getting close. Like, we're really close. So some countries closer than others, but I think we're going to get there, and we can really hopefully see an in-person event for the GDQ, because that's really where the magic happens. But regardless, if you're interested in that, watch it. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because I've got stuff to do. I've got to get this forest off my face, and then I've got to record a bunch of episodes for Danganronpa 2. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this update video. Thank you so much for the continued support as always. Please keep watching Danganronpa 2. Things are getting really interesting. The next chapter is going to be incredible, and I hope to get RE8 started for you sooner rather than later, so stick around for that. But I'll leave it there. I want to thank you all for watching this update video. My name's Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and I'll see you next time.